Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So, there is some bad news for website owners. In fact, this could be a lot worse than I think it is because Google, as the title of this video mentions, is inserting search links into web pages. Uh, and the way it's doing this is by literally, editing the DOM file. So, what happens is when your website renders, so there's a pre rendered site, let's say it's in HTML, then there's a post-rendered site, which is a DOM file. Now, the way Google is doing this is it's inserting a layer in between so that the eventual DOM file includes these links. How exactly does this work is not Google not really telling us, but based on what I'm seeing and based on the information I have, which is somewhat limited because this is a new feature that's just been rolling out, uh, I would say many websites are going to be impacted, especially if you're a website owner and an industry that's technical. You're going to be hit very hard by these links. Now, what are these links and how they work? And this is what this video is all about. Before I go ahead with the video, just want to add like and subscribe. Please leave a comment below. It helps with the video getting some traction. Also, if you're looking for someone to do SEO, there's a link in the description to my website, cloudseodubai.com. Make sure that you click the link for the form and you can get in touch with me if you need a consultation. So if you need a consultation, you just click the link for the form and I will get in touch with you. Also, if you need someone to do a website audit, monthly SEO, I offer those services on my website. So buy the relevant service and I will get in touch with you for further details. So getting back to this problem that we have with Google. So, first thing is the announcement. So, this was announced back on the 19th of November, and this flew under my radar back then because I didn't think much of it when I initially read it. But now, as you will see in the context of what's going on with a lot of these sites, this is a lot more malicious than it first appears. So, new way to get more info when using Google app on iOS. So, this is specific for now to iOS, but I'm pretty sure that this will roll out to other devices. We've introduced a new way to get additional information about the topics you're interested in on the Google app when using an iOS device. Now we'll extract interesting information from Google Knowledge Graph entities and highlight them in line. When the user clicks on the highlighted entity, it will open the tray so that you can easily find more information right when curiosity strikes. So what will happen is, as you can see in the screenshot over here, is that it says Osaka Castle, and then if you hover over it, it kind of gives you, where Osaka Castle is on the map and how Osaka Castle looks, and a bit of picture with a phone number and stuff like that. So it seems pretty harmless, and this is where I kind of was like, okay, this is a good feature. I don't have an iOS device. I used to have one, but if you're an iOS device user, and this is a great feature because it gives you more information. And the other good thing I thought was, okay, so if I'm looking at a website, Google is pointing out entities to me. So I can see all of the entities that Google is really interested in because it's highlighting those. And when I do my own content, I can make sure it includes all of the entities. So that's probably a good feature for us as SEOs. But as you'll see, it's not good. It's actually pretty malicious. So it says here, this new experience allows people to quickly get additional context about people, places, or things without leaving the site they're on. So yeah, so this is also another good thing is that do not necessarily need to leave the site. Everything is like a pop up, and they can even see a definition to words. Also, some Google might add context to some stuff. So that kind of thing is good, right? It improves your experience. And when you're done, you can easily swipe close the app tray, and you're right back to where the pages were started. Uh, and you're right back to the page where you started. Web publishers are able to opt websites that manage out of this feature by submitting this form. So appears, pretty um, benign. So probably a great feature. But the problem, there are two issues here, huge issues. The first is that everybody by default, every webmaster, every website by default has opted in. So if you don't want these links on your pages, you would have to opt out of it. So for that, there's an opt-out form. I have a link to the opt-out form if you've been noticing this, and I'll tell you how to find this. So there's a link to the opt-out form. If you noted these kinds of links on your site, fill out the opt-out form. It will take 30 days for Google to remove those links, which is another really strange thing because this should be right away, right? A, you shouldn't be adding links to a website to begin with without our permission. Secondly, if you do not want those links on our site, you should be removing them right away. But they're not. So the next piece of information here, and which is why this is super malicious, is that all of these anchor texts from these entities point to Google search. So these links, these anchor texts, point to the Google search page. And the problem with that is Google is juicing up its own search pages, and it's also opening you up or your site to being seen as being spammy. Because let's say you have a 500-word article and you've got 20 of these links because you have no control over these, right? So let's say you've got a lot of entities on your page and you've got 20 of those links and you've got 5 of those links, internal links to other pages, maybe 5 external sources. That's a lot of links on a single page, right? And right there, you're going to probably trigger Google's spam brain, which will then see your pages as being spammy. The other problem is because you have no control over this, you're literally bleeding link juice back to Google's SERPs. So not a great thing. Also, with AI taking away a lot of the traffic that regular search or content searches get, this kind of compounds into a really bad thing for webmasters. But there's more. Over here, this is a Verge article, and I'll link to the Verge article in the description, and also here's a screenshot of it. The Google app for iOS can automatically convert some website text into links to search results. So it says they're linking to search results as announced in a community post. So the community post that The Verge has mentioned is also, you can see here, page annotation in Google iOS ad browser. So this is the same thing or the same stuff that I already read. It's just a lot more information. So I'll also add a link to this in the description if you want to read this further. But Google calls the feature page annotations. Now, there's a difference between an annotation and an anchor text. So what they've done is they've used the term page annotation, but in fact, these are Google added anchor text. So it says it extracts interesting entities from web pages and highlights them in line, which then take you to search results when you tap on them, inserting links without explicitly asking the user or the site owner first. It seems a curious move for a company embroiled in an antitrust fights over both its search and advertising business. Yeah, for me too. It's kind of strange that they're doing this at this time. So there's a form, and it takes 30 days for Google to actually do this. And Google had a similar feature, and this is also mentioned in the words that I distinctly remember. It was called Ad Intents, and that Google introduced to its AdSense platform earlier this year. In that it automatically places links in display relevant organic search results with ads on website text. The difference, though, is that site owners have to opt into the ad intents instead of opting out. So, in a way, you've become an unwilling advertiser for Google under the guise of Google trying to provide context. Now, I have not personally seen any websites that have been impacted by this, but I would imagine that there will be many websites once this starts rolling out will be impacted by this, and the impact of this will be probably not something that you can undo soon. Now, there are people, including myself, that are very concerned about this because if you have Google inserting links, it opens something that was previously we didn't think that Google could do, right? So Google can insert links into your page. What else can Google do with the content of your page or your pages? So with that said, there's still left to be seen like how Google implements this. Google is already rolling this out on some websites. I have not personally seen which websites this has been rolling out on. If you've seen sites, you can send me links. That would be great. I would love to take a look at it. But the way to find this, if you suspect that you have these links, or just want to double check and make sure that Google is not impacting your site with these types of anchor texts, is to run a Google Screaming Frog crawl and look at external links from your pages. So if you see external links from your pages that have like Google SERPs in it, so then you would have to export that to Google Sheets, do a Control F search, and see if Google is adding links to its search. I don't think this is a very good move on Google's part. It's definitely not good for SEOs and people who are trying to make money out their sites. Like what? Regardless, let me know what you guys think of this. Like and subscribe as always. Leave a comment below, and happy ranking.